Hang in there, Harvey. You've got 5 health left. Hey everybody, Robert from Black Belt Gaming. We're heading into round 3. We start with the Mythos phase. 1 Doom goes on the agenda. We advance the agenda if the Doom threshold is reached, and it is not yet. 2 out of 3. So let's continue. Each investigator draws 1 card from the top of the encounter deck. All right, Harvey Walters, our wounded professor, goes first and draws Obscuring Fog. Well, I don't know if this is too bad. It's Obscuring Fog that's going to go in the hallway. It will raise the shroud level to 3, but there really aren't any clues to be gathered in this area. So after attached location is successfully investigated, discard Obscuring Fog. I'm not really sure what to do here, so I'll just sort of put it out there in case something comes up. All right. Nathaniel Cho draws Crypt Chill. This is a hazard. You have to test willpower at a rank of 4, and if you fail, choose and discard 1 asset you control. If you cannot, take 2 damage instead. All right. Well, Nathaniel Cho has willpower here of 3, so we're testing against 4. And the cost will be to get rid of assets. We've got a couple of assets on the board. So if you fail and discard 1 asset you control, it's not so bad. You know, I think I'm going to save committing any cards for this. Since we have some assets out, it's not so bad. We get a -1, so that's a 2 less than 4, and we just have to discard an asset. So let's discard Relentless. All right, so encounter cards are done. Harvey Walters is like, why is it so foggy in my hallway? And we're heading to the investigators. Let's see. I think we're going to need to start heading into some of these new locations. The parlor is blocked off, so cellar or attic. Well, Harvey suggests, since they can't go into the parlor, he says, let's go check out the attic. So he heads that way. We're going to go to the attic location. It says the smell of rotten meat assaults your nostrils as you approach the attic stairs. Well, here we go. Moving into the attic. Forced, after you enter the attic, take 1 horror. Well, on the way up, Harvey Walters says, perhaps you should go first, my dear. And the laboratory assistant walks in, and she's actually going to take that damage. So we'll put 1 horror on our poor laboratory assistant. The bloody carcasses of the bloody carcass of a malformed beast swings from a meat hook, chained to the ceiling. Blood drains slowly from the carcass, dripping into a small barrel. What's going on? So that's the attic, and Harvey is there with his assistant. There are some clues there. So we have a shroud difficulty of 1. That's not so bad. And potentially 4 clues can be gained from the attic. So that's Harvey's first action. Well, although altered, this is Harvey's attic, so we're going to have him immediately investigate, just using his base intellect of 5. And we get a -1, so we're still higher than the shroud level of 1, so we gain our first clue. Harvey will spend his last action investigating this area one more time. And it is good enough. We've gained a second clue. Well, Cho's like, hey, what'd you find up there? You need any help? I'm on my way up. And Harvey says, no. Don't come up here. Go check out the cellar. All right. So we'll send Nathaniel down to the cellar. It says the stairs leading down to the cellar are slick, and they glisten with a thin layer of ice. What in the world? We'll switch it over. We're entering this location forced. After you enter the cellar, take 1 damage. What did we do? Fall down the steps? Your cellar seems to have been replaced with an underground network of icy tunnels and caverns. The cold chills you to the core, so it's just cold damage. It's like freezing cold down here. Well, 1 damage. I would say, yeah, let's go ahead and give it to Cho. Cho's tough. He can take it. Just 1 damage. And let's take a look around. Well, it seems like the attic. There are some clues up here that can be discovered, or some clues down in the icy caverns that can be discovered. 2 per investigator, so that's going to equal 4. Well, Cho's got a bad feeling about this area, so he's going to spend his remaining 3 resources and perhaps literally strap on his boxing gloves. And this is a weapon. It actually takes both hand slots. He's going to get +1 to his combat when he's fighting. And something about after you defeat an enemy, exhaust the gloves, search the top 6 cards of your deck for a spirit event and add it to your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Sounds pretty good. That leaves him with 1 action and no resources. Since the shroud level is a bit high down here in the cellar, I think we're going to have Cho take his last action to gain a resource. So we're going to take one of these, and I think he's going to wait for Harvey to join him down there. So he's probably going to call up to him and say, hey, get down here. Well, we can just skip over the enemy phase, go to the upkeep. We just sort of reset everything. Nothing is exhausted. Draw 1 card each and gain 1 resource. So let me do the resource first. That is easy. And let's draw some cards. Harvey gets deduction, and Cho gets counterpunch.